this off. His name's Justin. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really take the name.
He has the skills. Go rainbow on your ass.
Hey, Justin.
Yo.
I'll grab your guys' phone. We're gonna start a couple parties.
Okay. Yeah. Paul, do you want to go help him?
Sure.
Okay.
What? How many?
Here.
I think we got 2.
I'll go.
So and that's
yeah,
just a much smaller.
Oh yeah. And that sharper one is what you prefer to take those smaller, finer.
Yeah, when you're really shaping it and stuff, really all you're not pushing as hard in now because that's pretty thin.
Right.
So now you're really just trying to break it off, create the bevel where you can make those grooves, the razor sharp dips and needle point tips.
Okay. And you said you like that longer antler because you can slide,
you
like
can
shape
really,
it up on your forearm.
Yeah, and even then, like I'll even hold it like this too, and just kind of rotate off that edge. So you just put your finger right in here.
Yeah.
Seeing that little thing right there.
Got all the other stuff you asked for. It's just like the phone.
Okay.
I guess they didn't get the. I just thought I'd let you know.
I went and asked them, and I could have sworn they said they didn't have any more, but I'm not entirely sure on how that's going to work.
Dude, take Zeke. Zeke will fucking make you viral as fuck. Viral?
Viral. Increases your testosterone.
No, it's just the cramps.
Huh?
Zeke's good.
Yeah.
Low enough.
Says Obsidian. Okay, yeah, you're getting those really fine.
Yeah, and really just kind of moving that edge to where you need it. Like sometimes you can see how this edge kind of is closer to this side.
Yep.
Well, then I'll go and chip off a couple this way, because if you take chips off of this side, you raise the platform on the other. The platform moves, I guess. And like,
so you flip it.
Yeah, so it's on the bottom wherever you're going to take your flake. It's on the bottom.
Wow, yeah.
And you can manipulate it and move it like that.
You making a ninja star or just a square one?
No, I'll take it down to where the base is over here, and then put some parts in there for the arrow.
That's amazing. Do you ever do like commissions?
What do you mean?
Like commission your work?
Oh, nah, I do this for fun, man. At least I haven't yet. At some point, maybe
you
I will.
could totally commission that shit if you get good at it.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you're already good at it. Sell full sets of fucking arrows and people will buy them. Even just like.
How long take you to get it down?
I could probably do them in, if I'm really concentrating, like 2 hours or so.
I mean, how long? When you first started doing them, did it take you?
Oh, dude, months. I've been doing it for
a
like.
few more rocks.
Yeah. I've been doing it for 2 years
wow.
or so, and I still can't get it to where, like,
Yeah, each piece is different depending on, I guess. Are they all pretty much consistent?
No, everything's different. Every rock breaks different.
Yeah, it's like using any natural material. There's always those inconsistencies that's where the art comes in.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's not
Being able to read the rock and what you need to do with it.
Yep. Starting to get a feel for it.
I want to start doing it, watch. Just because ammo and...
I've been wanting to know how to do it since I was a little
You know who's
kid.
really good at
yeah,
that?
me too.
There was this dude named Jonathan. He can make arrows like that.
Yeah, he makes bows too.
Yeah.
Made them on the fire. I mean, they shoot hard, powerful. You're like, what?
He's really good with his hands, man. He's good at that shit.
Yeah, flat bows aren't terribly hard to make. We have Osage orange at home, which is a tree that the natives used a lot. Really tough wood.
Yeah.
And you I've cut cut some staves for some people. And smaller diameter logs, you want to split them in quarters. And you got to follow the grain on them too. So I've seen bows with like knot holes in them, and the limbs just go like, have like an S curve in them. But as long as they're straight and in line.
As long as they follow the grain,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But you got to follow that grain.
That's crazy.
And you have to air dry that wood for a while. So if you have a good stave, like oftentimes it's air drying for years before you even mess with it.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now, when you do the stage, you're finding the piece of wood already that size?
No, I'm cutting like an Osage branch. Trying to find a straight section is hard because most of those trees were old fence row trees. So they're all open grown and kind of gnarly, so you're just looking for a straight section of branch. So I'll cut them, and then just in 6 or 7 or 8 foot lengths, whatever I can get the straightest out, thinking how long the bow's going to be. A lot of times, I haven't made one personally, but I've cut staves for people before.
I know they sell.
Yeah, I gave some to a kid that said he was going to do it, and I don't think he ever did it. But when you split them, it's kind of cool because you use metal wedges.
Oh wow.
You don't cut them. You stick a wedge, you split them. Yeah, you split them down the middle, and then you quarter them, and then you usually keep the stave in a quarter, and then you start from the outside grain in.
That's how they make them look. I always thought they were just finding the perfect
Nope.
stick, you know.
Nope.
Like, man, that'd take a long time.
Mm-mm.
So you make them.
Yeah.
Cut them,
Yeah, and
like you say, split them with.
Yeah, and you're using a draw knife and scrapers and stuff, and you're trying to follow that annual ring out on it, and that's why sometimes when you see them, they have all these imperfections in them. They might have wiggles, and it doesn't look like, definitely looks.
I think I might do that around my house. Put them all in my fence.
But there's some cool lessons on like YouTube making flat bows out of like oak from logs.
You know what's kind of crazy about
And-
this?
and nice-
It was copper
Nice
ground
powerful
rod
ones.
that was malleable, and I put one end of it in a vise, and then put the other end and put it on a drill, and spun it.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, is that what you ended up doing?
yeah,
Okay.
and it straightens them out to where
So it was a copper what from?
just
what?
copper ground wire.
Oh, ground wire. Yeah,
Yeah, that you
I've
get
used
at
it for
Home
for
Depot.
lightning protection for trees.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you twisted it to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it hard, man.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, it's got a cool. I see the twist in it.
That's insane. That is insane.
That's really
Just straight.
Makes a good tool.
It hardens it. It molecularly tightens it.
Oh, one thing too to watch out. I don't know if you can see
Oh,
all
yeah.
the dust flying off, but that's micro.
Yeah, taking like 2.5 stuff that'll get in your lungs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Tear it
Yeah.
up.
Back in his back. Thank you. Yeah, open your pocket.
Sebastian. Yep.
Oh wow, that was. Let's go past.
If you can hear that one click, like whenever you're doing the sharpening, you just want that one. A lot of times you hear it. And
You don't want the crunch. Yeah, you want the
one.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny how when you start getting dialed on it, you're listening for the sound rather than the actual like aesthetic
Yeah.
thing about it. So that hard push you just took, you were trying to take
I guess I
thickness.
should have showed you that.
Yeah, trying to take thickness out.
So there was actually a step fracture in there where my last one, like you can kind of see it right there, how it kind of just stops.
Yeah.
And what I did with this was I moved it out to the edge
Okay.
and then put this in here
Yeah.
and actually,
Went like that
Just-
and got that big flake.
yeah,
Okay.
and pushed it the rest of the way.
Okay.
How long have you been doing this for?
About
2 years. You've gotten good at it. That's for sure.
A lot of breaking rocks, a lot of pissed off time sometimes.
Yeah, just like any other art form, man.
But I think when you circuit and mellow it out about it and not being like, oh well, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
Fucks up his, like,
Yeah,
signature
because
sauce.
I was telling him I was in Utah and we were outside Cedar City in this place called the Arrowhead Flats, and it was all shale and PJ, and you just found piles of obsidian flake from where the natives were in there, and they're trash piles.
Yeah.
And I found more messed up ones or partially done ones that they just disregarded because you need even the amount of time that those guys spent in using that material that has such a high variability with a low success rate too, you know?
Low success rate. But if you make it
So to
right,
get that
it'll-
perfect point,
it'll be a good weapon forever.
yeah. Well, every time they're tossing that into an animal, the odds of them finding it are pretty slim to none. The arrow's breaking off, they're losing the head's breaking. You know, it's a throwaway.
There's like a tan Toyota truck coming down the road.
Even modern broadheads, if they're not built solid, or as far as I'm concerned, they're throwaways. You put them through an animal and the blades are shot, or the ferrule's bent, or whatever.
They don't fly
Like
straight.
they don't spin right when you put them on, back on the arrow.
Okay, true.
You guys ECU? No, we haven't.
But it's funny, I've seen tests, penetration tests, and different stuff like that with this. And I didn't know if you knew this, but the sharpest that a medical scalpel can get is 3 microns. A steel scalpel. That's, engineered, best steel you can get. That gets down to 1 micron. Like way more than surgically sharp. And sometimes in surgery they do use obsidian for scalpels. Yeah. I think that volcanic glass is, they've shown that's like, look under a scanning electron microscope and it's got the finest edge of anything.
Have you ever looked at a bee stinger underneath the electric?
No, I bet it's cool though. Is it barbed?
It's barbed and it's wicked sharp.
Yeah.
Like they showed it at the end of a hypodermic needle comparatively.
A hypodermic needle looks all round and
Rounded, yeah.
Nat,
All
yeah,
rounded
yeah.
and fucking that
Yeah.
thing was like a harpoon.
Yeah, it's
It was
wild.
insane. It's crazy how the natural world still beats us all the time.
All the time.
All the fucking every time. Every
Wow,
fucking
yeah,
time.
point, man. Thing's getting righteous.
That's cool.
Yeah, see, like one little problem that I'm having, that one bigger flake that I took off earlier, pushed my platform
Push your platform way
the other
over.
way.
Yep.
See, and this one's almost riding in the middle, but now I'm gonna have to figure out how much I can actually take off of here without messing up the
Without
rest
messing
of
up the shape and having to set a taper, which in turn would make you have to reset that taper.
it. Exactly.
Okay.
And maybe even just might just have to bang off a couple off of this side and just keep it kind of the same
Yep.
on both sides, even though it's not gonna. Did you hear that, like kind of the crunchy?
Yeah, the crunchy one. Yep.
Yeah. And that's because the edge is so thin, it doesn't have enough to carry the energy through the rest of the rope.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Your force isn't being absorbed.
Exactly.